Guys, we got the biggest news ever. The official deal has been signed. It has already been signed. There's pictures of the signing. NIO's working with ChangAn Motors. And here is what the CEO had to say in an official post. All right. He said, "Hello, today I signed a cooperation agreement on the power swap with Mr. Zhu Huarong, chairman of ChangAn Automobile, as well as Mr. Wang Jun, president of Chang Motors, and Mr. Wang Hui, vice president. Mr. Deng Chenghao, general manager of Deep Blue Automobile, also called Shenlan, which is a big competitor of Li Auto, as well as Li Hong and Shen Fei, which are both the heads of NIO's power business. Okay, next, the two sides will carry out in-depth cooperation in the construction and sharing of power swap network, the research and development of the swap-capable vehicle types, and cooperate in promoting and establishment of power swap battery standards and the establishment of an efficient battery asset management mechanism. NIO is the world's largest intelligent electric vehicle power swap network operator and has built and operated more than 2,100 power swap stations in the global market. As of today, NIO has provided more than 32 million power swap services to users. NIO has more than 1,600 power swap related patents with the characteristics of system innovation, leading experience, open sharing, and commercial sustainability. NIO's charging and swap business was ready to open up to the whole industry on the first day. Like the internet cloud service infrastructure, NIO's power swap network and NIO Energy Cloud also take a path of infrastructure first, internal closed loop, full scene verification, and then open out to the outside world. Cool. NIO's power swap business has accumulated rich experience in research and development, construction, operation, etc. And NIO's power swap network and NIO Energy Cloud have made preparations to open up to the industry. ChangAn is a leading enterprise in the Chinese automobile market, and I have always admired the determination and action of ChangAn Automobile to transform into electrification. This cooperation is the first time that NIO has reached a power swap business cooperation with automobile enterprises, which is very meaningful for NIO and the intelligent electric vehicle industry. I believe that through this cooperation, NIO and ChangAn Automobile will jointly promote high-quality development of the new energy vehicle industry and promote the low-carbon transformation of the automobile industry. Chairman Zhu Huarong gave a very high evaluation of the power swap model today. He said, "In the background of vigorous developing new energy and intelligent networked vehicles in the country, the implementation of NIO's power swap model is a milestone, and the cooperation between ChangAn Automobile and NIO in this power swap business is of great significance." He hopes that ChangAn will not only cooperate with NIO in the field of power exchange, but also continue to strengthen cooperation with NIO in other platforms and basic fields, from energy, power charging, vehicle, ecosystem, and other aspects. So there might be more coming between NIO and ChangAn, not just power swap deal, but more, which is what we all want. So, as to jointly promote the construction of industrial pattern and create more social value. The construction of power-up systems, which is swap and charging, is the core work to promote the development of the intelligent electric vehicle industry. The power swap model is a fast, efficient, and sustainable way to power up intelligent electric vehicles that has been proven to be feasible. Since 2020, many departments of the state have successfully promoted the Energy Vehicle Industry Development Plan from 2021 to 2025, which is a big document, and on further improving the service guarantees of charging and swap infrastructure, which includes implementation and starting the pilot application of power swap model for new energy vehicle and other documents, promote the construction of power swap networks and standard systems, encourage the promotion and application of the power swap model, and promote onboard power swap system, general platforms for power swap and battery packs for pure electric vehicles, and standard setting to maximize the use of resources efficiently. The cooperation between ChangAn Automobile and NIO is signed. Next, more car companies will join the power swap cooperation. Wow. Automobile enterprises cooperate in the power swap business, which is great significance for improving the power up experience of more intelligent electric vehicle users. The power up experience of all new users will also get better and better. Looking forward to the smooth cooperation between two sides. So guys, there's 4 to 5 more partners that are waiting to get signed, to sign a deal. And what's really big about this is that they have stated, the chairman of China has stated that they are looking forward to more cooperation, not just on the power swap and having their cars be able to do power swap, but maybe also use some of NIO's other technologies, which is very, very good. And like this has stated, NIO is actually the closest one to standardizing battery swap. And what's really interesting is Shin Fei, head of NIO Power on Weibo, said that in the future, battery swap stations are going to be able to accept number 92 battery, number 95 battery, number 97 battery. Obviously, a hint that the battery swap stations will be able to do all sorts of battery sizes and dimensions, just like how gas stations have all sorts of different octane levels for the gas, which is very interesting. Now, a little bit more detail on this whole entire deal. A lot of new owners have been worried that there's going to be a long lineup, but apparently it's going to be available for some Gen 3 swap stations and Gen 4 and beyond. Gen 4 swap stations will be announced on NIO Day this year, which will be capable of supporting all dimensions of batteries. So existing NIO owners will not be affected by all these all these partnerships that are coming in, and existing 1, 2, 3 Gen swap stations will still be able to be pretty much exclusively for NIO owners. And Gen 4 and 5, if you want to swap, you can also swap there as well. One really key thing is this is starting to look towards standardization of the power swap network. It just really gives the green light that NIO needs to go further, even go ham. There's rumors that NIO next year is going to double the number of swap stations and just push out even more and get even more automobile companies on board and partner up. They're all looking at NIO right now, thinking whether or not to sign the deal. But NIO is already so far ahead that, of course, you have to sign the deal. NIO's battery swap is becoming the standard for battery swap. And being able to accept all sorts of battery types, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's like the new age of gasoline, but your car doesn't have one of those gas sockets. How can that be acceptable? Now, if I had to guess who the other 4 potential partners are, and I could be totally wrong, but let me talk first, all right? So I think the other 4 potential partners could, first of all, be BYD, all right? Why BYD? Because BYD has not put any money into infrastructure at all. They are the biggest electric vehicle seller, new energy vehicle seller, with zero infrastructure. That is a big no-no for a lot of people who are now starting to pay a lot of attention to infrastructure. So I think BYD is actually on that list as well, of that 4 people that are in talks with NIO. All right, definitely 100% in my opinion, because they don't have any infrastructure. That would be a big disadvantage. So using NIO's infrastructure really makes sense for them. And also, if they're able to develop a blade battery that can do swap, I think it might be a big game changer as well. Next one on the list, definitely Mercedes. Their sales have been really crappy. Their factory here in Beijing had to close down because the sales have been trash. They've always had that interest, and I believe, and people have been telling me, new employees telling me that they've already signed the deal. And what am I going to say? I'm just a NIO owner, a content creator. Am I going to say, no, you're wrong, you don't know what you're talking about? No, I take it with a grain of salt and I say, okay, You're telling me the deal is signed. You're telling me the deal is signed. You're telling me the deal is signed. You guys are all NIO employees. Maybe you guys know more than I do. So I'll take your word for it that the deal has been signed. That, okay, Mercedes is working with NIO. Okay, so the other guy on the list, probably Mercedes. And one guy that I think won't be on the list, all right, in my personal opinion, is SAIC. They have the IM brand. They also have the Rising Auto brand. They have their own swap network that is aimed at competing against NIO. And all their cars in the future will be able to use Rising Auto's swap network. So in that sense, I think they might not be on this list. However, they're just so far behind that I don't see them ever possibly like overtaking NIO in terms of swap station numbers. So that's definitely not on the list. One person that could be on the list, and maybe, just maybe, even Geely, all right? Now, why do I think Geely? Because Lotus, NIO has some investments in Lotus Automobile, and also the Lotus vehicles. NIO CEO actually attended one of the launch events, and he was the presenter for that vehicle at a launch event, which was very interesting. So it seems very logical to think that Lotus definitely, they're high end, and it would make sense that they cooperate with NIO. It would not make sense for them to build their own swap station network or power charging network because they don't sell that many cars. They're super expensive, and because Lotus is owned by Geely, it makes sense that perhaps Geely is also on the list, or maybe it's just Lotus. I think Lotus is definitely going to be one that will use NIO's battery swap network. This is the biggest news in the past 2-3 years. It just validates everything that NIO is doing. Who do you guys think are the partners? Let me know down below. I'm so excited about this.